Life's a series of choices, and today we're trading the mundane for the extraordinary. In this video, we'll be checking out 18 upcoming English Otome games in 2024 that caught our eyes. And the only cliffhanger is deciding which love interest steals your heart. My name's Sasha, and I've been enjoying Otome games for more than a decade now. From the early indie classics like Realistair to the more recent Love and Deep Space, I'm fairly flexible on what I obsess over. And I'd love to chat with you about these. Just a quick disclaimer, the trailers and images shown here are part of the publisher's campaign, which are found on their official channels. But that could still mean there might be some that you might consider minor spoilers. Also, Fandisks. You might want to check out their first game first. But don't worry, we've added chapters in this video so that you can skip those parts. Without further ado, let's kick it off with Sympathy Kiss. When the game was announced back in Japan, the community had mixed reception. Some had issues with the main character having no facial features in the CGs, like we are reverting back to early Otome heroines who have no personality, while some like it being a self-insert. While I do like my heroines spunky, I don't mind it personally. I guess I've been desensitized a little bit since my early Otome days. I was playing those standalone Voltage games, so nostalgia might be a factor here. As long as the plot is interesting and the boys look pretty, I'm content. And the art looks so gorgeous. From the creative mind of the people behind Lover Pretend, which also has gorgeous CGs. Speaking of plot, you play as Akari Amasawa, who joins the struggling Astarchi team to save their news app, contemplating her passions and searching for love. As someone who works in corporate, I'm looking forward to this game just to see how other people experience it, as it is one of the rare slice-of-life genre from Idea Factory. In Sympathy Kiss, business and pleasure blend in a thrilling office romance and slice-of-life drama. The game launches on Nintendo Switch this February 2024. Next up is Tengoku Struggle Stray Side. I love Olympia Soiree. The sprites and the CGs are amazing. It's the first art book that I had to have because it's just that gorgeous. If it's not obvious, the lead artist also worked on Tengoku Struggle. Here's a side-by-side comparison. Not to mention, the boys look hot as well. In this game, you play as Enma Rin, adopted daughter of King Enma. She's assigned to recapture escaped souls from hell in the living world. Enlisting the help of Goemon and others, she discovers her allies are also punished souls. Meanwhile, a mysterious singer-songwriter wants to join in. Is he an enemy or an ally? When the game first released in Japan, there were a lot of buzz surrounding how it has the same writer from Olympia. That said, the game has a lighter tone and has a lot of comedic conversations, but still has an intriguing plot. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Tengoku Struggle arrives on Nintendo Switch this April 4, 2024. Then we have Hakuoki Chronicles of Wind and Blossom. I've played Hakuoki on the Nintendo DS, PSP, PS3, and on PC. Got the limited edition as well. It's like a trip down memory lane. If you don't know, you take the role of Chizuru as she is surrounded by the handsome warriors of the Shinsengumi. Dive into the political and interpersonal drama of feudal Japan. Juggle romance, navigate through historical events, thanks to beautifully illustrated cutscenes and gripping dialogues. In this release, two visual novels come together. A remastered compilation of Hakuoki Edo Blossoms and Hakuoki Kyoto Winds. This updated version includes revised text for the best possible experience. So if you haven't played it before, or just a collector of classics like me, this is a sign. Hakuoki Chronicles of Wind and Blossom is coming out on Nintendo Switch this spring 2024. Up next is Bewitching Sinners. The art of this game looks amazing and its setting is quite intriguing. Bewitching Sinners is a dark comedy dating sim where the choices you make can either lead you to true love or bring about the ruin of an entire world, possibly causing harm to millions. No pressure. Embark on a journey through a fantasy realm teeming with witches, charismatic priests, and the occasional dance with death. I've tried the demo and I found the love interests to be very funny and the exploration feature was quite fun. I like how colorful the game is and how the scenes have a comic book vibe animation. Unfortunately, it ended on a cliffhanger and I need to find out more about the lore of their world and the mysteries each of the cast carries. Bewitching Sinners is planned to release by late April to mid-June this 2024 on PC via Steam or on itch.io. Now let's move on to Sigh of the Abyss. Imagine this. You were created from a ritual and the people who were sacrificed for you are asking for help finding peace. What would you do? Follow their wishes or go your own way? Now I prefer my otomes with an anime aesthetic, but I do find the visuals of this game beautiful. That's why I placed it on this list, and the plot is interesting enough. Your journey involves friendships, rivalries, and maybe a dash of romance. The city's a bit chaotic, with the rich having a blast while others struggle. You've got a choice. Take charge or let chaos reign. What's your call? So here's the deal. Your decisions shake up the city and its people. Plus, you do get to name your character, pick their skills, and even decide who they like. It's a story with surprises and consequences, a gaming experience you might find interesting. Sigh of the Abyss is set to release on PC via Steam and itch.io this second quarter of 2024. And next is Radiant Tale Fanfare. I really enjoyed the first game, Radiant Tale, especially the common route, how it was a good mix of showcasing everyone's personalities. And now the Fandisk has been confirmed to release this year. Radiant Tale Fanfare includes all new stories and sweet after stories that follow the happy endings with the 5 love interests in the original game. But what I'm looking forward to the most is Jinius and Leon's roots. It follows the normal ending of the common route. Finally, some Leon love. I would have liked a Colivus and Alice route as well, but beggars can't be choosers. Additionally, the Fandisk contains a collection of mini-episodes of events that occurred throughout the original main story. Anything that expands the lore or the friendship of the gang is a welcome addition to me. Radiant Tale Fanfare is set to release this summer of 2024. Then we got Thorn for the Villain. From the maker of Trapped with Jester comes an Isekai Otome where Truck-kun strikes yet again. You'll play as an office lady who is reincarnated as Teresa von Ambrose, a spriteless extra character in the obscure Otome game Eternal Blessing of the Stars, where most of the endings end up with Asmodia Kingdom in shambles one way or another. Armed with knowledge of the game's future, Teresa decides to intervene and erase the event that triggered the beginning of the original story. But actions have consequences, and instead of the protagonist, Teresa finds herself drawing the attention of the villainous underground organization Snare. I enjoyed the demo, there was a lot of meta and the cast are all quite interesting. The love interests have a lot of red flags, and while so far they were tame enough during the demo, I'm keen to find out what happens next. The full release of Thorn for the Villain is set to release this Q3 of 2024. Now moving on to Virche Evermore Epic Licorice. This game is the Fandisk for the recently released Virche Evermore Error Salvation. I like how we're getting it so soon. You return to the island of Arpeshal, where, surrounded by the sea and black flowers of misfortune called Licorice Noirg, humans are cursed to die by age 23. I did enjoy the first game, even when you needed to finish all the bad ends first, and I am looking forward to this Fandisk for happier endings. I have been warned though that this is not exactly the case for this, but I'm still hoping since happiness is subjective. This time you get 5 new tales to further explore the world of Virche Evermore. You will get to experience the new despair and salvation that awaits Ceres and her suitors. Anything that gives me more Lucas-sensei is day 1 buy for me. Virche Evermore Epic Licorice is set to release in fall 2024. Up next is To Grant a Wish. In To Grant a Wish, you play as a minor deity, Zephyr, whose presence has been fading due to a lack of worship. One day, you receive an offering on your shrine that grants you more power than you have had in a century, and you set out determined to grant their wish. Unfortunately, this isn't quite so simple as it seems. The demo is partially voiced and it felt similar to our life. The story so far was fun and upbeat. I liked Zephyr's perseverance and how they're quite insightful for a deity who's a bit out of touch with society. I do feel that the art for the sprites are a bit inconsistent, but the CGs look good in my book. To Grant a Wish is set to release on PC this December 2024. Then we have Diffraction. Being a photography-based influencer was the goal, but everyone called it a pipe dream, and they were right. In this game, you play as April, a failed career, no job, no money, and a mountain of debt. April ends up moving back to her rainy small town. But even a small town has some doors for opportunity if these boys can give April her last shot at her dreams. She can use them. The UI and ambience are lovely and the premise is relatable, at least for me. The demo left me wanting for more interactions with the love interests, so it's definitely on my radar. Diffraction is target to release for PC this 2024. Now let's move on to Cupid Parasite, Sweet and Spicy Darling. 2024 does seem like a Fandisk year. Cupid Parasite released last 2021 here in the West, and now we finally have the Fandisk Sweet and Spicy Darling. Continuing the love story of Cupid experiencing love firsthand, it's the tale of when she becomes a goddess only for him. Marriage marked the start of a new chapter with a series of unexpected challenges. And I'm so excited this story is far from over. Rendezvous with the Cupid Para Boys in up to 3 game modes. Select After Drama mode to follow up with the original Parasite 6 and pick up from where you last left off. Go with New Parasite mode for a chance to experience Marinish Levin's perspective of the events that take place after the common route of Cupid Parasite. You can also explore routes you unlocked in bonus episode mode for 6 bonus episodes with their own unlockable CGs. Cupid Parasite Sweet and Spicy Darling is set to release in Nintendo Switch this 2024. Next up is Tenebrae. A cryptic message takes the young vampire to Tenebrae nightclub, where 7 incarnations of deadly sins will stand in her way. Now she has to survive among intrigues and solve the mystery of her mother's disappearance. Which circle will you choose? The game is set in an alternative modern world where vampires are a unique evolutionary branch. You follow the detective story through the eyes of young vampire Beatrice in the modern Czech Republic. Enjoy dynamic storytelling, leading to 4 different routes and 8 unique love stories representing deadly sins and purgatory. Players can experience this classic mechanic of choosing actions while communicating via a mobile phone. I really enjoyed the demo, and I know I've been saying this, but it won't be on the list if I didn't. I find the heroine Beatrice very gutsy, but also maybe because of desperation. I also enjoyed the voice acting. It helped in the immersion of the game on their lively dialogues. If you like gorgeous visuals and an interesting and colorful cast, check out its demo available now for PC. Early access for Tenebrae is targeted for 2024. Then we got Project Code Neon Mafia. Following Even If Tempest Fandisk is 3 visual novels from Voltage. Project Code Neon Mafia is one of those, name pending. In this game, young members of the Mafia fight, rebel, and entrust their hopes to their friends to fight corruption, confront evil, and challenge fate. I love how fun the trailer is with the neon and all, and the heroine looks kick-ass. The love interests look distinct from each other, and I'm looking forward to each of their routes. From the depths of a neon city comes a declaration of war. From the scenario writer of Otome such as Cupid Parasite, Desperadrops, and many others, I'm expecting it to be quite action-packed with some twists we won't see coming. Project Neon Mafia, name pending, is slated to come to the Nintendo Switch this 2024. Now moving on to Reanimation Scheme. An Otome game and romance visual novel about necromancy, love, life, and death. You step into the shoes of the necromancer, Renal, meet a colorful cast of characters, fail to summon the spirits of the dead, unravel mysteries, and maybe, just maybe, fall in love. You play as Renal, a necromancer granted an unexpected break when the spirits of the dead suddenly disappear. Tasked with solving this crisis, Renal finds herself entangled in a complex mystery while navigating relationships with 5 unique characters. Players will immerse themselves in a fantasy world full of magic and secrets, illustrated with detailed backgrounds and accompanied by a captivating original soundtrack. Meet over 15 supporting characters, experience key romantic moments with beautifully drawn artwork, and hear the voices of the main characters brought to life by talented voice actors. The demo is actually quite fun. The dynamics of each character are really laid out front and center, especially their interactions with the heroine. Reanimation Scheme is set to release this year on PC via itch.io and Steam. And next is Peach Leaf Valley Seeds of Love. The game's premise is inspired by farming sim genre classic Harvest Moon. In the midst of life's changes, our heroine Serafina finds herself at a crossroads after losing her job and home in the city. Aimless and despondent, she encounters an elderly farmer at a local park who offers her a flower symbolizing new beginnings. Inspired by his warmth and wisdom, she decides to leave her old life behind and embark on a journey to a valley filled with flowers. There, she begins a new chapter, embracing the wonders and adventures that life has to offer. Dive into a beautiful world with beauty, nature, and love as you become the newest resident of a lush valley where the sea, the sky, and the land all seem to meet. The demo was fun and nostalgic as I grew up playing Harvest Moon games. The cast is so colorful, literally and figuratively. The game might have started a bit somber, but the characters are just so bright and fluffy that I'm so excited for what adventures Serafina will stumble into. Peachleaf Valley Seeds of Love is set to release on PC this 2024. Next up is Project Code Kaleido Tower, another visual novel from Voltage. In this game, youths with unique abilities living under oppression enter a tower submerged in an endless dream. There they delve into themselves, their friends, and the people they love. A bit cryptic, but I love the setting and how beautiful it looks. From the scenario writer who was responsible for Nor 9, I'm looking forward to the story. Turn it all into a beautiful display. Your folly, your weakness, your shame, your corpse. The lead artist for the game also created part of the event CGs for the Even If Tempest series, so you can see the similarities in the art. Project Code Kaleido Tower, name pending, is slated to come to the Nintendo Switch this 2024. Then we have Steam Prison Beyond the Steam. This Fandisk takes place 2 years after the grand ending from the original Steam Prison. If you're not familiar, in Steam Prison, there are two kinds of people, the rulers and the ruled. The heights of a gorgeous utopia, the depths of a filthy industrial wasteland, our heroine raised in the heights has nothing but contempt for those below. Now an observation mission requires her to descend into that world, and the gears of fate have begun to turn. It's finally time to check this off my backlog. The first game, that is. While I like the art style, the reviews have been mixed, which just fueled my lazy self to justify it being in the backlog for years. Have you played the first game? And how was your experience with it? Let me know in the comments. I'm planning to start Steam Prison before the Fandisk arrives, so yeah, let me know. Steam Prison Beyond the Steam is set to release this 2024. While not much is announced yet about this title, the first game released in both PC and Nintendo Switch. Up next is Imperial Grace. The game focuses on politics and romance in an imaginary medieval world. As the new Empress of Kalidia, your choices will determine your future and your kingdoms, so rule wisely. You play as a strong and ambitious woman and hold an entire country in the palm of your hand. I really like the avatar customization options and how the CG changes with your selection. Fall under the charm of the three love interests and their flamboyant personalities. And discover the kingdom of Kalidia through colorful and well-developed secondary characters. Guide your subjects by addressing their petitions and navigate the crisis unsettling your realm. It's up to you to tackle the many dilemmas that will change the history of Kalidia, for better or worse. I'm glad that there's an infinite resources option, since in this game you would have to manage your kingdom's resources, making each choice even more difficult. Imperial Grace is set to release on PC this 2024. And there you have it! What Otome game are you looking forward to this 2024? If you enjoy more Otome content, check out this video. And I'll see you there!